I got a brand new blog post from zero to the first page of Google in less than 3 months, and I want to share with you exactly how I did it. Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Barron from harrisonbarron.com, and like I just said, I want to share with you guys exactly what I did to get my blog ranking on the first page of Google. Now, I am firmly confident in the fact that my blog is going to land in the first 2 spots, and I actually want to share with you guys exactly why I'm so confident about that, because most people are probably like, you can't promise that you're going to be there. Oh, just wait. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this as well, so that way you can go in here, you can learn exactly what you need to do to outrank your competition, and ultimately take over that #1 spot on Google. So we're going to be jumping in my computer in 1 second, but I want to share with you guys the thought process behind this. Now, this is not fancy keyword research. You don't need to pay for a tool. You just need Google, which you probably have if you're watching this video, based on the fact that YouTube is owned by Google, and you need to be able to type something. So if you're watching this on your phone, you're going to have a lot of thumb presses. Otherwise, I would highly recommend breaking out a keyboard and mouse, and you are going to be typing quite a bit. But that is just the precursor to all of this. So let's jump into my computer here, and I want to share with you guys the exact way that I found out this. I knew that I was probably going to be ranking in the top 20 over the course of the next 3 to 6 months, but I didn't think it was going to happen in less than 3 months. Also, hope you guys appreciate the new background here, as I've completely moved everything around in my office. But we have what I would consider, or what is the queries, and that's really not that important. But what is important is the information that we're gonna get out of the queries. So right off the bat, I know that I've already started ranking for this, and the reason why I found this out is actually I was just kind of testing it. So if you go to, I'm gonna just type in Kajabi here real quick, and it's not showing up because I probably didn't pick enough rows. It's always a nice feeling when you rank for more than 100 keywords in the top 10 spots on Google, but we're going to go back to the Kajabi search term here. Kajabi, there it is, Kajabi SEO. So we are position 10 currently. Now, for the sake of this video, I would show you guys exactly how you would drill down on this, but I'm just going to isolate the Kajabi SEO right off the bat. Now, I had written this article and had launched just around May 30th, and that's really when it was officially posted. So May, so you have June, July, it's really like a month and a half, if you're really thinking about this. And the craziest part about this is you can see that I've gotten 164 impressions and 4 clicks, and I'm position number 10. Now, when you see an incomplete line on here, that usually means that Google's kind of testing it out. And it realistically only took about a month for Google to say, hey, we know exactly where this belongs, which is awesome. And the reason why is there's a couple different reasons. Number one is it has to do with the length of the blog, and it has to do with the keyword that I went after. Now, the clicks don't really follow that well with it, and that's still because I'm currently breaking through. If you guys actually follow this average position over here, you could see that I was in position 19, I was up at a position 10, 11, right, and position 18 again, and they've constantly tested it out to see where I belong, and they're starting to figure out, hey, you really belong in position 9 or 10 currently, and I'm strongly confident in the fact that that will go up. Also, keep in mind that this blog isn't even done yet. I just wanted to post it before it was finished, and I plan on going back and making even more revisions to it. So you can see here that we are currently trending around the 10 spot, which is awesome. Now, I'm going to leave a link below to the blog if you guys would like, but if you're watching this and you've made it this far, I encourage you to subscribe, because if I could do this, anybody could do this, and I'm going to constantly be sharing more and more tips for you to go and replicate this success. So this hasn't resulted in any financial gain just yet, but it will. Now, what I did was I have my personal website, harrisonbarron.com, and you're going to see 2 of these Kajabi articles here, as one is not done yet, and I did that on purpose. Now, this is the new Google update, and it's a very short article, which I'm okay with. The reason why I did this is because I wanted Google to actually see it earlier than it probably needed to be seen, but the one that's currently ranking in the top 10 spot is this article right here. And all in, it's about 3,000, if I remember, about 3,300 keywords. 3,700 words, so 4,000 words on this article, and it's ranking number 10 on Google, and that's why I'm pretty confident in the fact that it will rank number 1. Now, this hits all of the points that I try to encourage everybody to do. One, you're going to have your titles, which are crazy important. You're going to have lists in here, which is also crazy important. A nice little video that I've recently embedded in, meaning like 2 days before this video, that will also help it rank even higher. I have some images with some clear arrows, we'll put it at that, and some screen grabs from the back end of Kajabi and what you need to do. I also made this. So we've really hit every single point that I think is really necessary. The only thing that I really haven't done yet on this article is actually interlink it to other articles on my website, which if I do and when I do, it will solidify that #1 spot along with rereading it probably 1 or 2 more times to really make sure I go in as deep information as possible. That's really it. But how did I land here and how did I get to that number 10 spot is probably what you're asking, right? So what I did was I knew quite a bit about Kajabi SEO, and I knew that in Facebook, if you go to Facebook, you can actually see that there's really not that much competition in Kajabi. If you go in here, Kajabi, you could search this and you'll find out, right? You'll find the group that's in there. There's 26,000 people in there, and these people are the evangelists. They are fighting for Kajabi every single day, and I massively respect that. But if you go over here and you search SEO, or better yet, Kajabi, we'll just do SEO for this. You'll actually see that there's really not too many articles in here, right? Kajabi SEO, so thankful, right? There's a little shout out to me, which I'm actually probably going to pull up and screen grab here, right? SEO. It's really not talked about except by a handful of people. That, to me, was an immediate call out that said, hey, there's probably a low amount of competition. The second thing I did was, it was an article that I kind of knew I wanted to write about, and I had already made supporting content on YouTube. So if we pull up YouTube here, you can actually go to my channel and you can see that, hey, look, I have Kajabi content on here, and it does okay. It's definitely not the most... it's definitely not the most popular, but, you know, blog on Kajabi, off-page Kajabi SEO, right? Basics of Kajabi. I've already gotten shout-outs saying from other people that they're watching my content, and then on the Growth Generators channel, you can also see more Kajabi content on there. So I really went through, and I had already done a lot of my homework, and I've already position myself as an expert in that area. Now, the thing that really brought it home was the fact that, hey, I wanted to rank for Kajabi SEO, which is cool, right? And we're constantly, the lower that gets to 0, the better, right? And 135 impressions. Now, I went to the Kajabi SEO, how to improve your Kajabi SEO, and I would not even be surprised if I outranked Kajabi for Kajabi SEO. I'm very serious when I say that, because quite honestly, this is really not that great. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to crawl this and go through it and see what I could take out of this and add more to my piece of content. But what I'm going to do differently is when you start to go through here, and this is another Kajabi article, but we have a blog, and we have a couple other blogs. The interesting part about this is you want to pull up several of your competitors, right? So you go through here, you pull up your competitors, and ultimately what I'm looking for is what is making these articles any good. So just looking at this, right, he uses some screen grabs from Brendan Bouchard, right? He's using Amy Porterfield, right? 5,000 clicks, which is kind of crazy because it's really not that many clicks. 12,000, you're getting there. 12,000 clicks from Chanel Johnson, right? But this is overall a pretty light article if you really look at it. It does look like it was made on Kajabi, which is great. But the thing is we're just going to use our little cheat sheet here, our SEO minion, and it's 1,400 words, which is crazy because this is actually outranking this Kajabi SEO tutorial, and it could just be this time. But this article was one that I knew was going to be really hard to trump. It's 3,300 words, and then you have Kajabi SEO quick tips, right? This is maybe a couple hundred words at best, right? And nothing against Penny in Your Pocket podcast. I mean, it's a great show, but you'll see here that this is 585 words. And then we also have Strive for Savvy, who's probably going to be, I think, right around the 1,000 word article. It's a short one. It's not bad, but it's just short, right? And that's really it. I knew that really there's only one competitor that stood out to me, which is this guy, this studioforddigitalgrowth.com, and nothing against them, but they wrote a really, really good and in-depth article. They're probably getting a ton of traffic to this, right? It's really, really long. I knew that I needed to write a better article than they did. And ultimately, that's exactly what I'm doing and did on my own website. So on here, you can go through this, and this is, in my opinion, either a as good, if not better article. Now, I do have some advantages and tricks up my sleeve where I have a video, unlike they have a video. I mean, they have some screen grabs, which is great, and I'm probably going to add more of those, right? But the video is kind of my secret sauce because now people are going to spend even more time on my website, even though they're watching a YouTube video. And this is kind of what helps differentiate you versus your competition. So I knew that all in, right, we had really one massive competitor with 3,300 words. We had 1,400 words. We had 585 keywords. And then this one being 1,000 words, I say keywords. And those areas screamed to me to say, hey, Harrison, you need to go make this article. You're an expert in this. You know exactly what you're doing, and you could probably tie this all together and write an even better article than everybody else. And that's exactly what I did. I went out, I sat down one day, and this article took me several days to write, but I went through and I literally wrote every single word on this. I did not hire a writer. I wrote this all myself because I knew that I couldn't find somebody that would write an article as good as I could write this article and as in-depth with the experience that I have being an SEO expert. So I just went through and I wrote this entire article, and that's really it. That's all I did. I didn't do anything else. There's no more tricks up my sleeve. That's it. I went out, I wrote a better article because I realized that the competition's content wasn't that good. I'm not hating on any of those people, but there's way more opportunity to write a way better article, right? There's really, in my opinion, just that one company, that Studio for Digital Growth, right? And by all means, super respect for them. They had this spot way earlier than I did, and I'm going to come for it. But I mean, their stuff is phenomenal. It's a really well written article on how to do Kajabi SEO, which is great. But I could do a better job, and I knew I could. And even if I can't do a better job, I'll take position 2 over no positions at all, because that means I'm beating out everybody else. And when I say that I'm an SEO expert and I'm getting you in the first or second spot on Google, how much more do you believe me, right? I went from 0 to the top 10 on Google. That's a home run, right? Now, granted, there's still competition. There's competition on the second and third page, but my article was way better than all of theirs. It's way more full of content. It's way more geared towards the person who wants to learn about Kajabi SEO and how to implement it after reading an article. And when I put that person in my mind, being able to write that made it far easier. And that is exactly how I was able to outrank them. And this is exactly how we outrank all of our people that we do business with compared to their competition. We just write better articles, right? We're just built, I'm just kidding. We're not built different, right? We go through and we really look at seeing, hey, what are articles that we could write about? What are articles that maybe we can't rank for but are really good to drive other traffic to, right? And we just look at, hey, where's the opportunity? And if there's a lot of opportunity, let's go attack it. And that's exactly what we do. And that's exactly what you need to do. There's no fancy keyword research in there. Think of a couple areas that you happen to be good at. Google them, and if you think that you can write a better article than them, just go write that article. Don't worry about the golden keyword ratio, although they do help. There are tools, SEO Surfer, right? Writer Zen, you have SEM Rush. There's all these beautiful tools that can help you, but what won't help you or what hurts you is by not doing the work. And the moment you could go through and do the work and make an article that is going to outrank your competitors is when you win. And that is the most important part. So I hope this video helps. I hope that this encourages somebody. I hope that you can crush Google. I mean, start taking some spots. Start taking enemies out, right? They're not enemies, but like, you know what I mean, right? Go after these people. There's so much opportunity. There's so much bad content out there. I happen to be an expert at this. I could write multiple articles on this in different little areas, and I could dominate most areas on the Kajabi word if I really wanted to. It's just there for the taking. And I'm not encouraging you to go, hey, I want to go write about Kajabi, right? But just think about what you could write about. If you're a vegetarian, write about being a vegetarian. If you're a vegan, if you're maybe you are. I just saw a TikTok the other day. This girl is a professional puppy raiser. You basically give her your puppy, and she helps get this puppy going in the world and feeds it right and gets it out in the world and exposes it right to help it have a really good personality. The first 16 weeks of a puppy's life are really important to help it grow and develop as a dog, right? And I was like, oh my God, she's a puppy expert, right? You are a expert in something. It could be computer programming. It could be building custom computers. It could be cigars. It could be bourbon. It doesn't matter what it is. You just have to figure out what works best for you, what you're super knowledgeable in, and then just go find other areas that people are writing about and write a better article than them. That is literally the secret sauce, right? Regardless of the keyword research, just find out if you know that you could write a better article, just go do it, and Google will reward you. It's that simple. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys found value in this, if you're about to go dominate your competition, crush that like button, hit that subscribe button, little notification bell, and if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments below. I want to help you guys keep growing your online business, or at least maybe your blog, or start a business, or I don't know. Just follow along. We're going to crush it together. You. Me, right? We're meant to be. Love you guys.